I Don't Get It
Podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast. Episode is long distance relationships. And Ashley's pointing at me. What do you want to say?
Because everybody likes it when we introduce ourselves.
Lauren, this is Lauren.
This is Naz.
And this is Ashley. Lauren is just regaling us with her student guidelines because she starts school a week from the time this podcast will be released.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm so happy for Lauren.
If people don't know why Lauren's going to school, she's going to become a hairdresser. She's going to a very prestigious hair school called Tony and Guy. It's right down the street. She can walk to work.
Yep.
And walk to school. Yeah. Lauren, tell them the crazy thing that's in the guidelines.
Well, I was just reading, what your first day is going to be like, all this stuff. And then I got to, the uniform, and they were like, all black, no pattern, no brand names.
Oh, really?
No
like
tennis
no logos?
shoes, no logos.
Even to school, not to
it's because you're working on the floor and you got to look like a hairstylist every day.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. And then it goes, full face of makeup should be done before school starts, and school starts at 8 a.m. So I'm just waking up at 6:30 to do a full face of makeup.
Wait, but also it's 2019. Why do you have to have makeup on?
Exactly.
You gotta,
isn't that what about the natural beauty?
Yeah, it's because you want to look
presentable,
and
that's
you
so
know what
old
you're doing.
Really old school.
It is very old school. So I'm thinking that when I get there, the girl I interviewed you with was like, I say no logos, but you can wear this on whatever. She's very floozy about it. So I'm assuming this is the thing you read before, and it's just very strict until you get there and you actually learn what it's supposed to be like. Maybe
Very
it's just foundation or something, which sucks even that,
Yeah.
So
I can't. That's
crazy.
seems really wrong almost.
No, because you're in the beauty industry. You're supposed to look like that. It's not like an esthetician. An esthetician? Esthetician. Where you want to have a clear, beautiful skin. This is makeup and hair.
Yeah, but you're doing hair. You're not working at MAC. Does Tony and
Guy
Guy
they
teach
do.
makeup?
They have
they do
a course on makeup.
Oh.
So I mean, we'll see. Maybe they're just oh yeah, that's in there, but no one does it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Naz has an I don't get it. She walked in here saying, I have an I don't get it.
I do have an I don't get it. So I just peed in your bathroom that all three of you share together.
Well, Jared and I go to the bathroom in our room, but we shower in the common.
Oh God,
room.
what are you gonna say?
And I don't get. I thought it was very interesting that the choice of candle that you picked for your bathroom was a brownie scented candle.
I don't light it in there.
And
that is hilariously
smells
ironic.
like a motherfucking brownie in there, and I feel like that is a scent for the kitchen.
It is
not where you shit.
You're correct.
So,
I don't like it in there either.
Please explain, Lauren.
We ran
out of all the candles.
I just wanted to light a candle in every room, and I just grabbed that candle, and it's just been in there ever since. But I don't light it.
It smells like a Pillsbury Doughboy commercial.
Well, it's better that than other smells in the bathroom.
But when you pee or poop in there mixed together, it's really
who
weird.
knows? But who knows? I don't even know what the smell of poopy with that candle
Poopy
is.
brownie.
All I can say is that one of my biggest recent pet peeves is this air freshener that Jared uses after he poops, and the air freshener it smells like straight chemicals, and so then it smells like chemicals are trying to mask the smell of poop, and I'm like, I'd rather just smell your poop.
Yeah.
So I threw that thing out. The best
what was
thing,
it? Was it like
it was
poopery
it was
Poopery works.
I replaced it.
Potpourri.
No, it's called
poopery.
poopery.
Like the brand.
God, you think I'm that dumb?
No,
Lauren?
Naz,
Jesus.
I replaced it with poopery. Okay.
Poopery.
It was a what's that brand? That you spray on the couch and stuff.
Pine Sol?
Febreze. It was
What
a
happened
Febreze.
to Pine Sol?
I know. I miss
Pine
that
Sol's
lady.
for
That
wooden
lady
floors.
was so funny. She's
It's
like,
for wooden floors.
She's like, I got Pine Sol. What would she say?
I don't remember what she said.
The clean scent of Pine Sol.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Guys, I miss old commercials. They were so great back then.
The best solution to getting a smell gone is just to light a match. Why do we even have air freshener? Lighting a match is magical.
I love the smell of fire.
Me too. I love, you just light a match and then throw it in the toilet.
Yeah, I know.
It smells so good.
It's so good. All right.
Oh,
So
I wrote one thing down in my notes.
Wait. Remember the dude you got Adele guy?
You got Adele?
Dude, you got Adele.
Oh, yeah.
I miss him. I just had to say that. My mind's thinking about all these old commercials. I never see anymore because I have cable. I mean, I don't have cable. So I miss commercials. That's kind of weird, though, huh?
But, well, you
While
could
you're-
watch the commercials on Hulu.
I guess. While you're looking that up, Lauren, can I make a quick announcement? Heartbroken Anonymous next month in February is going to be on Valentine's Day.
That's
That's
most
fantastic.
perfect thing
because
I've ever
we
heard.
all know it is a great day, but it can also be a very isolating, sad, lonely day if you're alone. So if you're in LA or you know someone that's in LA and really sad, please tell them to come. We're in a new location. Go to heartbrokenanonymous.com or you can ask me questions on Instagram. At
Also,
Naz
if you
Perez.
just don't have something to do or somewhere to go, it's just like you don't even have that's sad, but like lonely.
Yeah, or you could like bring a friend or just listen to someone else's story and give back if you're not doing anything that night.
There'll
It's a
be
Thursday
heart-shaped
night.
donuts there. I'll make sure of it.
Thanks, Lauren.
Naz, why did you move places?
So the last place I did Heartbroken Anonymous shut down, like in the midst of the shitty month of December
Wait,
for
Open
me.
Space?
Open space is gone.
Open Space is gone on Fairfax. It was really, really sad. It was like all in 1 week. I got laid off and the place shut down. But this new place is just a couple blocks down the street. It's called Hyper Slow. It's like a really great yoga studio.
Oh, I've heard of it.
The vibe is great. So yeah, come check it out, guys.
Oh, nice.
Thanks. Sorry, Lauren. What were you?
I
Gonna
read it and it was really dumb.
say? What was it?
You know those memes on Instagram that are like, tag your friend in this so they open their phone and see a chicken nugget?
Yeah, they're so stupid.
Who the fuck does that?
I'm gonna start doing that to you all the time.
like, who? You don't even see them, Ashley. You're not even looking at memes that much.
Ashley looks at me.
She doesn't get it.
No, I don't get it.
You don't get memes.
No, I get memes, but I don't get sent things like this.
I know, but they're like it's like
They're
oh,
so
it's like tag
dumb.
your friend in this, or they owe you chicken nuggets, or they
Oh.
owe you a drink. Who's doing that?
Who's
High
doing that?
schoolers.
I guess are
That's
high schoolers.
hilarious. It's so stupid and a waste
So
of time.
stupid. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, I do see on Twitter, it's like retweet this or you'll have like 20 years of bad luck. And it's
Yeah.
like a scary picture of a spider.
Do you remember those AIM
fucking
chains?
no, the email chains. My
God.
dad would send me. They of course all be about God, like, and it would be like this picture of Jesus Christ and like his whole story and the prayer. And it's like if you don't send this to 20 people that you want to go to heaven, you're going.
I know. Those were the scariest things. I used to actually
you
do
fucking
them.
I used
kidding
to
me?
send them like fire out.
No, because it was like, or a ghost will be at the edge of your bed tonight.
Yes!
And
What
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
okay, well, who? Like, I'm like, it's 20 people. I mean, like, who is not embarrassed? Who can I actually send this to? And I'm not going to be too embarrassed by.
I see these still today, and I think that if I don't finish reading it, that it won't come true. So I say like, "Oh God, it's come, it's come."
Same.
Yeah, and-
that's what most things though. I'm gonna start a text chain like that. Like send this to 20 people. Text this to 20 people right now.
Oh, funny.
so funny. Okay, well, should we get to the topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really glad we're actually doing this topic, guys, because obviously I've never been in a relationship, but long distance
I only-
relationships have always fascinated me because I have a long distance friendship with, you guys know, my best friend Caitlin that now lives in Austin.
Oh, that's a sweet way of
and
thinking
just
about it.
in general, dealing with any relationship long distance, both people really have to be super invested
Yeah.
and wanting to keep it alive, or there's no chance of it surviving. But I've always been really fascinated and intrigued to hear how people make it work long distance. Like, does it actually work? Can it work?
So we got a lot of emails, and I read a lot of them, and I just turned my volume up, and I sound like a wackadoo. We got a lot of emails, and the consensus was, I can't listen to myself.
Before
sound
you say
great,
before
Lauren.
you say the
Sorry.
consensus, can I say what I think it is going to be?
Tell me.
I think you could be long distance for a while, but you have to have a plan, an ultimatum plan. Like, but at this point, once we are together for a year and a half or 2 years, we are going to move to each other regardless of
I
like
agree.
circumstance.
Right. Everyone said you have to have a time where you're going to a day and a time where you're going to see each other again, like a flight already booked. But the consensus is if it's not going to work within a mile distance of each other, it's not going to work long distance. Like,
Well, duh.
If it's not going to work long distance, then it's not going to work. Opposite. If it doesn't work long
Yes,
distance,
that
then
makes
it's not
sense.
going to work even if you were in the same city.
That makes sense.
Oh, well, yeah, because
two
the greater
people-
test is long distance.
The two people have to want to be with each other. And if it's
Right.
not your person, it doesn't matter if they're down the street or across the country. You're going to figure out how to be with each other as much as you can.
Right. You know what I always think about when I think of long distance? Like, you know how people travel back and forth all the time? I thought of an idea. There should be a frequent flyer card for long distance relationship people. I'm going to invent this.
Isn't it just a frequent flyer card?
Yeah, but it'll be like a
you
discount.
punch your card.
I'm sorry, if seniors get discounts, I should have a discount because my boyfriend lives in Kansas.
How are you going to prove that?
I don't know, pictures.
Instagram. You got to work
That's
on
a
that.
great question. I got to work on it. I'll be like the guy from the Fire Festival, just making. You guys need to watch
I'm
this
gonna watch it.
documentary.
No, I'm gonna watch it
I
this
need to
weekend.
talk about it so bad, and I can't.
Y'all, we are so excited about this next sponsor.
Stokes.
You've heard about it. It's ClassPass. It's the one thing that's going to kill your fitness goals in 2019 is boredom. Because within a couple weeks of going to the same class and having the same instructor, you're going to be sick of that same old workout. But that's not going to happen with ClassPass, because ClassPass is an all-access membership to over 14,000 of the best gyms and fitness studios all over the world.
Can I just take a sec? This app has changed my life.
You've done it for a long, long time.
I've done it for, the past year I have used ClassPass, and I have to say, I mean, living in Southern California is a dream because we have the state-of-the-art best people, but honestly, it's great because when I travel to New York or when I travel to Florida, I can also work out on ClassPass and go to gyms there, and it's honestly you have a gym anywhere in the world.
That's awesome.
And you can always switch it up. One day I go boxing, another day I do Pilates, another day I do Barry's Boot Camp, and it's
Barry's
honestly
Boot Camp is on there?
yeah.
Oh.
It's honestly the best because I feel like I get bored just doing one thing over and over again. And
Classes are motivating. It's not like you have a gym membership.
Exactly.
When you have a class, you have to be at a specific time, and the instructor is going to motivate you.
right. Also, there's a lot of hot guys at different gyms. You feel what I'm saying? You pick up what I'm putting down?
Yes.
It's really, really smart.
Thanks
of you,
to
Naz.
ClassPass.
Shout single ladies, take note.
All the single ladies download ClassPass.
Monthly memberships start at $15 and you can cancel at any time. You can mix it up. Find the perfect studio and classes just for you.
Get your first month free at ClassPass.com/try/get it.
Okay, that's a little different than usual, guys. Make sure you also take note of that.
Right.
ClassPass.com/try/get it.
That's ClassPass.com/try/get it with your first month free.
That's ClassPass.com/try/get it.
Okay, so we're having callers to talk about their long distance relationships, how they keep it alive, what they think about it, and our best friend Maura is going to call.
Maura's calling in first.
She's going to be first. She's on the East Coast. She's a little tired, and we've been meaning to have her on here for 2 years now.
Well,
but
she's been on once.
She's
was
been
on
once. I haven't talked to Maura in so long. Didn't she come on for a vagina thing?
maybe.
I feel like Maura's very vagina
So
centered.
she's
She
been
is.
dating a guy.
vagina centered.
Yeah.
She would be an extra. Wait, have you guys ever been in a long distance relationship?
I mean, as we all know that technically, I don't know.
I dated a
No,
guy.
I haven't.
Jared
Jared just cleared his throat in the other room.
I mean, yeah, if you call Jesus a long distance relationship, and then
Jesus from the cruise.
From the cruise.
And Gergie. I mean,
Georgie. His name is Georgie.
Gergie. Oh, look at Gergie sitting over there.
Georgie was long distance.
Georgie was long distance. He was in Iowa at school.
So
Yeah.
did you
Cheater.
like it or not?
He's a cheater.
No, I did not like it.
Well, it was good because it created distance for them,
Right.
which she needed in order to break up with him.
Because what I imagine, and we'll get to the calls, some people might love it because I feel like some people are really busy
They
and it
like
might
their
actually work for
space.
them, which is kind of
Yeah.
what I want to know more about.
It's it could be nice in the way that, if you have a 9 to 5 or you're just working all week long and you can never see and invest that weekday time, but then when the week is done, you get to, just have 48 hours with your loved one wherever you are.
Yeah.
And I imagine you're probably comfortable being on your own and you know who you are,
Yeah,
right?
a lot of
'Cause you
people
don't
said they-
rely on someone else.
They're
right?
independent. They learned who they were. You don't have to, always look to the person.
I feel like
for
that's what
decision
Lizzie
making.
likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Femi-
Yeah, Lizzie's in a long distance.
Yeah.
relationship.
Feminist
I totally forgot
rants,
about that.
Lizzie, guys.
I always
she's in a long
forget she's in a long
distance
distance relationship because she's just so he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. We'll see each other in a week.
I know.
She's so living in 2000 and
19.
I was gonna say the Black Eyed Peas lyric, but it's 2000 and late, and that doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right. So
We're
Laura's gonna come on. She's been dating a guy who lives.
We're all over the place
in-
today.
She's in the year 3000. Sorry,
who
I went to the
Ashley.
year 3000.
not much
just change, but they live underwater, and you're great.
You guys,
I think
we
it's the third
need
time we've done that on this.
We're really good at it, though.
we need Kevin Jonas to come on soon.
Yes.
Definitely.
How are we gonna do this?
Ashley, make it happen. You're famous.
I'm scared
Come
he's
on.
gonna like just be so honest with like all the things that they thought of us.
Which is good
Yeah.
juice.
Can
Good
I
juice.
moderate
Good
it? Can I
juice.
moderate it?
Yeah.
What did you think of this stalker, creepy girl, Ashley?
Okay. Go ahead, Lauren.
Okay, let's call Maura.
We're calling Maura.
Why is her name Maura Khaleesi
Gaudio.
Gaudio?
That's been her
and
name in my phone for many
Now
years.
she's going to be stalked on LinkedIn and Instagram. We just said
No,
her
her
full name.
Khaleesi is because of Game of Thrones.
I
All right,
know.
we're going.
But Maura's not blonde.
No.
She used to be blondish.
No way.
Hi.
Hello, Maura.
Maura?
Welcome to the I Don't Get It podcast.
Guys,
You used to
You
be
sound
blonde.
timid.
I did. I'm getting out of my Uber, and I just want to preface this call by saying I've been practicing not sounding like Lena Dunham.
Maura, I
say
miss
I
you.
miss you guys.
Maura,
Also,
talking like Lena Dunham is good. Looking
Yeah.
like her, not so much.
Wait, what happened to
come
Lena
on.
Dunham? I feel like she's been totally MIA.
She worked on that show Camping that my friend wrote on
that's
with Jennifer
right.
Garner on HBO. But that was her last show that she did with Jenny Connor. You know, that woman she
Yeah.
did Girls
She's
with?
funny.
Yeah. Who knows what she's up to now?
I had a bad dream, and Lauren and Lizzie were mean to me last night in it. So I'm mad
Maura.
at you.
Maura,
Don't be
remember
mad
when
at
we
me.
prank called you?
Okay, that's for another time.
another
It's
time.
totally
That's
an
another
inside
time.
joke. People aren't going to even understand how funny that was.
Oh my god, prank calling
Except
such
that
a
I
good
called the
pastime.
cops.
Okay,
That wasn't funny.
Lauren, so take
Okay.
over.
Maura, can you tell us about meeting Alex and
Yes.
all of that magic, and then you can tell us of how like you're getting through the long distance relationship.
Ugh. Okay. Hold on. I'm climbing my stairs.
Yeah,
One
I
sec.
know. I was going to ask you. You're gonna walk up still.
Yes.
course.
Fourth floor, guys.
What do you mean?
I'm almost there.
Of course, she's in the walk up.
Such a New York. You sound like Lena
You've
Dunham.
never been
never
to that
been to
new
her
apartment?
apartment.
That's weird.
So weird.
I've been there twice, Lauren.
Well, shut up.
Her new one or the Murray
Her
Hill
new
one?
one.
No, Naz, I have not lived in Murray
Oh,
Hill.
sorry, I don't know.
That is so embarrassing.
Oh my god, I don't know the neighborhoods.
Can you guys cut that?
No, that's hilarious.
Where do you live? In Brooklyn, financial,
I
Lower
live in-
East.
The East Village. I did live in Brooklyn. It's awful there. No one should live there.
Wow, well, we just lost half our fucking audience.
No, nobody from our podcast
Everyone would rather live in the East Village if you live in Brooklyn right now.
That's not
Naz,
true. Brooklyn's
nobody
so cool.
If
Dumbo.
you're commuting to work in Manhattan, you definitely can't. It's
Naz,
hard.
no one who listens to this show lived in
Okay,
Bed-Stuy,
well, I
trust
love
me.
the East Side, so I have no complaints.
Okay, I'll tell you how I met Alex. So, well, this is how I met Alex, not how Alex met me.
Okay.
So, oh, sorry, I'm very winded. So, he walked into a bar. I know, romantic.
This is a Taylor Swift
And-
song.
No, I mean, okay, let me just caveat this. If this had ended up being like, you know, like I just met him and we slept together, it would have been a one night stand. But like, it turns out he's my boyfriend. So every story can be a Taylor Swift song, you know?
Yeah.
So he walked into the bar and like, of course, everyone, my mom before, it was my best friend Lisa's wedding. We're in Texas. We're in Austin, which like, I don't like Austin, everyone. Austin is too hot. Anyways.
All right, so everyone from Brooklyn and Austin.
I love it.
We're doing great.
Brooklyn sucks and Austin's too hot. But anyways, so I just assumed everyone was going to be ugly because like Texas is not my type. Although there's a big music
my
scene.
God.
And then my best friend Lisa's boyfriend is a professional runner. So he's never weighed. He's always weighed less than us, and he's about 1.5 feet taller. So,
Sexy.
you know,
That's my type.
he's like 120 pounds. So I'm just assuming all his friends are going to be like skinny. I'm going to crush them. There's nothing that could ever happen. And then Alex walks in, and I'm like, oh, who's that? And Lisa goes, oh my God, that's Alex. Like, he works at Adidas. He's this, blah, 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 blah. Like, goes on and on and on and on about how great he is. And I'm like, why have you never told me about him? So then 2 minutes later, he walks up to me and my friend who are talking, and my friend's like very pretty. And I was like, ugh, the love of my life is about to hit on my friend. And here I am, this girl, my hair was like black at the time, fuck me. And so then, and he comes right up to me and goes, are you here for Elisa's wedding? Aww. And then I was like, I know, but so cute. But I was such a bitch because I was like, how could he not know I'm in Lisa's wedding? Like, who is this guy? So then I was like, of course. Like, I was literally linked arms with Lisa. Like, Of course I'm here for the wedding. Also, I'm wearing a prom dress. Like, I'm here for the wedding.
That was his opening line.
Yeah, but he has, like, no recollection of that.
All right, guys, shout out to our next sponsor because they have saved my life. Because I've always needed kitchenware and I never go to the store to buy it because I always feel like, I could use this money on shoes or other things. Yeah. I hate buying things that I need. Mm-hmm. But thanks to Brandless, all the kitchenware that I need is so affordable and I've been able to get it at a great price.
So basically, Brandless is going to eliminate you sifting through all those hundreds of brands at the big box stores only to pay premium, top dollar for disappointing quality. Brandless is going to cut out the middleman and deliver just what matters. No fancy labels or anything like that. Just high quality, yummy, yummy food and other items like Naz just mentioned.
I got Oreos that weren't actually Oreos.
Oh wait, these Oreos are bomb.
They're bomb.
Diggity.
Oh, we ate those with Emmy.
We ate the shit out of them.
Emmy ate a whole sleeve,
Emmy
guys.
endorsed loves the brandless Oreos.
It should be mentioned that the
vegan.
sound of this bag that you hear right now is brandless pot potato crisp with sour cream and onion flavoring. We also had
the sweet potato tortilla chips are fire.
Yeah.
We had penne today that was from Brandless.
Oh, the penne, that was amazing. Brandless offers better options for things that you care about besides the price, like it's organic. It's fair trade. It's non-GMO. It's gluten-free and vegan. And a lot, if you're looking for vegan foods, they got it for you is what I mean. They got non-toxic household and kitchen supplies and tree-free paper products, which is pretty cool. And for all you moms out there, you know how babies are so freaking expensive. They got premium diapers, organic baby foods, and protein-first pet treats for all the doggy mommies out there. Brandless also gives back. Every time you check out at Brandless, they donate a meal to someone facing hunger. That's pretty amazing. You're going to feel good every time you check out on the site. They provide millions of meals every year. This way, through their partnership with Feeding America, the nation's largest domestic hunger relief association.
I love it so much because you're giving back too. And right now, our listeners can receive $10 off their first order of $50 plus and free shipping at Brandless. All you have to do is go to brandless.com. Our code is GETIT, GETIT, to start saving on high-quality products. Don't wait a second longer. Go to brandless.com, enter GETIT to get $10 off first orders of $50 plus and free shipping, and start enjoying high-quality products you deserve today.
And if you don't try Brandless, you're brainless.
Very good endorsement, Ash. I'm also writing on a notepad from Brandless right now as well.
Ching!
Bye. Not bye. Back to the show.
So then the next day at the wedding, the whole night's going on. My mom was at the wedding and my dad. And my mom is like, Mom, are there any cute boys? And I literally point to him. I'm like, Mom, that one, the tall one, he's the one. And she's like, Sweetie, you're so dramatic. And basically is like, here's your Spanx that you just made me go to Walmart. I'm gonna go have fun. So I put on the Spanx, whatever. I sat in the bathroom for 30 minutes, don't know what I was doing, was really drunk. Finally, I go outside. Everyone's dancing. I'm outside. I was picking up my fourth drink at the bar by myself, alone. And all of a sudden, he just strolls up and is like, he goes, hey, what are you drinking? Or no. He goes, hey, you look pretty tonight. Aww. And I was like, aww. And I go, oh yeah. He goes, hey, you look pretty tonight. And I go, so do you.
That's cute.
And then he goes, yeah, he did look pretty. And then he goes,
you weren't lying.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. And then he was like, what are you drinking? And I was like, what am I not drinking? I have 4 drinks. I look like an alcoholic.
You fucking killed me.
It was so bad. like, had already basically changed out of my bridesmaid's dress. Like, I was in a pink dress. I was over it. And Lisa listens to this show, so sorry.
No,
Lisa.
I'm sure you vocalized that to her before.
Yeah, she knew. My hair was like curled and basically in an updo. And then we just talked. Like, I don't know how or what happened. I was a little bit drunk, but suddenly we were like talking about Star Wars. And then, you know, we had crossed Harry Potter within like the first 2 minutes. So like, I don't know. I knew it was something special at that point. And then he goes, you know, it was like hitting that point where it was like, are we going to go inside and like reintegrate into the group? But like, we hadn't kissed, nothing had happened. And he goes, do you want to go see the Longhorns? And I was like,
like the actual cattle.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are Longhorns?
I literally had to think about that. I was like, the team?
Yeah.
I thought the team.
I'm like, the school? I'm like, I don't know. I had no clue. And then I was like, the cows? And he was like, yeah, the cows. So we walk out. We like crossed over the fence. He finally kissed me. And like, I
finally kissed me.
Over.
It's been 3 hours since we really had our first conversation. It was like a bachelor speed.
It was like 20 minutes. It was bachelor speed actually, because we then like, I don't know, like he literally became my boyfriend like right then. I don't even know how to explain it. Like we were on the dance floor. There's pictures of us. It looks like we've been dating for 15 years. Like I've never been more comfortable. It's so miraculous. I cannot explain it.
Okay, so you guys had sex that night. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
And then how did you decide when you were going to meet up again?
Okay, we had our first time having sex was shower sex too.
Whoa,
okay?
Intimate.
I hate shower sex. Shower sex is the worst.
I know. It's like airplane sex. It's like
I got in the shower because I
happened.
like was sweaty and like wanted to wash my body, and like he got in.
Has a girl ever gotten off properly in the shower? No.
Right. I don't know.
Wait, more. I have a question. So when you found out that he didn't live where you lived, was that like the worst ever? Or were you like, okay, I can do this. I love this person.
Well, so this was the weird thing. So like, obviously everyone and their mother knows that I previously liked this guy who lived in Los Angeles who was like the worst. And it went on for like 3 years and I cried about it for like 3 years. And, you know, I was like, I'm never doing a long distance relationship ever again. Not that that was even a relationship, but whatever. And so that night, you know, we had sex. We're talking and talking and talking. And then he like looks at me and goes, he was like, this is crazy. Like if we lived in the same place, we'd be dating. He's like, you'd be my girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, I think so. And then in the morning, we were like talking and talking, and I was like so nervous. Like, how's this? Like, his phone died. Like, he didn't have any way to contact me. I was like, fuck, this is like the end. This is my perfect guy. Like, I've dreamed of him my whole life. And so then we're walking to the elevators, so like 11 a.m. the next morning, and he's like flying out that day, and he goes, man, I really want to be dating you. I live in Portland or something like that. Or that's what he said. He was like, we'd be dating. And I was like, I think so too. And then so then I Venmo'd him because shout out to Venmo. I was like, panic attack. My favorite stalking device, Venmo, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, it is very
If you want to know what your long distance boyfriend's doing, check his Venmo.
Yeah. Maura was really the creator of stalking on Venmo.
Yeah, which, by the way, like, I don't think I've ever looked at Alex's Venmo. So, like, that's a strong and healthy relationship.
It is.
Guys.
True.
You should not be looking on Venmo. Anyways, so I Venmo'd him my number. And all of a sudden, I Venmo'd him, like, to split the hotel and then with my number. And I was like, I'm so witty. And I get a text from one of the other guys, a picture of Alex. Like, they bumped into him on the street, and they were like, hey, we're going to this bar. Alex is going home to charge his phone and, like, wants to see you there. So the next day at the bar, he, like, we, like, slowly came up to each other. Like, we were so nervous. Yeah. I was
Did
so
you
nervous.
kiss?
Yeah, it was so awkward. He kissed me on the lips, and like you guys know how I'm really weird about goodbye kisses.
Yeah.
And then we were like together, like we went to Queso, and like everyone was being like, "So when's your guys' wedding?"
went to
Queso's a restaurant?
No.
No,
Queso
you just
was
went to indulge
Austin.
in. Wait, what?
Queso. Yeah, like in Austin, there's like lots of queso. You know.
Oh, okay. So instead
you
of going to
went to
coffee,
eat
you
cheese.
went to queso.
Yeah. No, it's like 4 p.m. Like we're with Reed and Lisa, who have just gotten married, and some other folks, and like we go, and I'm starving. We haven't eaten, and I'm like, I really want queso. So we go to this famous place, which I can't even remember the name. It's really delicious. And we're sitting there, and everyone's being like, "So are you guys up next to get married?" And we're like, he like looks at me, he's like, "Yeah, probably." And I'm like,
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm like, oh my God.
All right, so this is the most minute thing, but my bottom teeth have shifted pretty significantly. Even the last time I went to the dentist, she was like, "Oh wow, that gap between your lower teeth has really gotten bigger." And so I started.
So annoying how they move. It's
I know,
rude,
'cause
actually. It's so rude.
I haven't worn my retainer in like over a decade, so it's just natural that they shift. But I started inquiring, how can I fix this really quick and not so expensively, because Invisalign can be so expensive. And she was like, well, there's this thing called Smile Direct, and you basically do the whole shebang yourself.
Wow. How does that work?
With the Smile Direct Club, you straighten your teeth with invisible aligners sent to you directly, and for only $80 a month, you can have a smile that you'll love for a lifetime. And also, no braces.
No braces, no monthly office visits, no paying a fortune. Smile Direct Club invisible aligners work gently and discreetly to gradually guide your teeth into alignment. And one of their 200 plus duly licensed doctors oversee your plan every step of the way. So go to smiledirect.com to see real before and after photos of more than 350,000 satisfied grins.
I heard rave reviews of it so far. I've asked multiple dentists, and I'm starting mine this month. I just did the mold. I sent it in. All you do is you order a free impression kit with rebate, or schedule a free 3D scan at one of their Smile shops. That's if you maybe think that your teeth are a little bit more wonky and it's less of just closing a gap, but you think that you need like a little bit of a supervision of your scan. Plus, Smile Direct Club has an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get $150 off your invisible aligners at smiledirect.com/podcast and use our code, which is GETIT, GETIT 150.
That's because you're getting $150 off, guys.
Perfect. So again, that is GETIT 150. If you're listening to this offer, again, Lauren, hit it.
You get $150 off at smiledirect.com/podcast and enter the code GETIT150. Smiledirect.com/podcast, offer code GETIT150.
All right, Maura, how do you make it work today, over a year into this long distance relationship? How often do you see each other?
How often do you text? How often do you FaceTime? Answer all those questions.
Do you have like a certain maximum amount of days you go without seeing each other? All that.
Yeah. Well, if we go more than like 15 days without seeing each other, and then there's more time after that, I tend to throw like some sort of baby temper tantrum. He like knows it's coming. He's like,
Great advice,
Sora. Yeah. I'll be like, I don't know, like I'll just start crying on the phone. And, I'm obviously Ashley's friend. So like,
we all cry.
Yeah.
All the time.
We all cry all the time.
So we've only gone, since we've been together, 2 times more than 4 weeks, like not seeing each other.
Okay.
And then it's usually like 2.5 weeks we see each other, which is crazy because we live on the other side of the country.
Wait, so did you lay down these ground rules? Like, how did that all go down? I'm very curious.
No. In fact, the one thing about long distance that I would say is weird is that like when we met each other, it's like to go on a second or third date, you basically have to fly for 6 hours cross country to see each other. So it's like, you better be into it. And like, you better be, there's no like, are we going to do this? Are we going to talk? Are we going to maybe be dating? It's kind of like, yeah, you're going to fly here and stay here for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
We're dating. So it takes all the like if, ands, or buts out of things, which is nice.
If there was no talk about like eventually him moving to you or vice versa, I know he would move to you, but
Wait, we don't know that though.
He's moving.
So what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would this relationship be less stable if you didn't know at the end game would be him moving there?
100%. We talked about this for like an hour yesterday about how him basically coming out of the gates saying he was willing to move is, on my part, what has been able to give me like confidence and stability in the relationship. Like not knowing, you know, if someone's going to move or knowing that you're going to like cross that road or like when is it ever going to happen weighs on you, especially like I'm at an age where everyone I know is getting married. So every other day someone goes, when's he moving? Yeah. When are you getting engaged?
That's
like
so
when are you getting
fucking
married?
annoying.
It's a weird thing. Every day it's like, when's he moving? And then it'll be when are you getting engaged?
And then when are you having kids? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, it puts a lot of pressure on it, but
I have a weird question for you.
Oh, yes.
Because you know there's an end goal, right? Or there's an end to this. Do you enjoy being in a long distance relationship?
So I do enjoy being in a long distance relationship.
Good. This is exactly what I wanted to know.
Yeah, some days it's really fucking hard. Like you get bad news or like something shitty happens to you and you just like want to go home to your person. And it's definitely gotten harder the longer we've dated because you want that person to be there. But I do think because I know he's moving, it's been a really good experience. He's also so reliable. Like it's not like I'm not gonna, my flight got canceled or I have to stay for work.
Yeah.
Like he comes, he shows up, he books flights. Like and I have had experiences where that was not the case. And like he just shows the fuck up. And like that is what's the most important is like he's loyal.
That is my quote of 2019. He just shows
up. He doesn't matter
up.
at what hour of the night or day or when he shows up.
He flies in from Vietnam after 40 hours of being on a plane and like he shows up and like he listens to me like cry about, you know, whatever I feel like crying about. One time it was about teeth brushing. So like there you go.
Wait, more. So my last question, I think I'm going to leave all of our call.
Actually, why'd you make that face?
Because
you thought about teeth
Because I literally thought about. Well, I was thinking about how Maura said toothbrushing.
That's what I thought too. But why'd you make that?
But then
face?
I started thinking,
why?
Oh, why did you cry about toothbrushing?
I just like started crying because I like hadn't brushed my teeth and then I felt really gross and I like felt bad.
Maura,
and,
are you fucking kidding me?
That's cry over that too, Naz.
Oh my god,
teeth brushing, feeling gross.
He didn't brush his teeth, and she had to tell him, "Go brush your teeth. You're gross." And she felt bad. And
I comprende.
Yes, and then like I just felt like I was being like naggy, and then I was like, I'm gonna push him away.
Wait, why'd you have to tell him to brush his teeth?
Oh my god, because I'm OCD. What do you mean?
But was he not brushing his teeth?
Yeah, it was like a certain time of day, and he hadn't brushed his teeth.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a regular.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It was like 12 in the afternoon. I mean, it was like noon, and I was like, I just don't feel like kissing you, and that makes me feel bad.
Oh, okay. Wait, Maura. Final question.
Poor Alex.
Poor Alex. Is sex better in a long distance relationship or when you see each other every day?
Great question.
Oh gosh. Oh, sex is fuck. That's hard because like every time you see them is a holiday, so it's like yay, and sex is great, and as Lauren, what are you guys whispering about?
Naz is literally asking about my
How
nails.
did you hear me whispering? I just don't understand the
hear.
shape of Lauren's nail. It's not a square it's not.
It's square
not
with rounded
rounded.
edges, okay? And now back to more story.
I was listening though, Maura. Sex in a
Sorry.
long distance relationship, is it better or not?
Every day is a
Sex.
holiday. They see each other, she said.
Every day is a holiday. So, like, yeah, sex is great. Also, he's like the first person to go down on me and make me come. So, like,
Yes. Wait,
Woo, museum dick.
Do you think that if you were to live together, you're going to feel like the honeymoon phase would die out and like that makes you worried?
That's what I was going to ask.
100%. The honeymoon phase has died out. Are you kidding? I'm like, I want to go to bed. We just had Chinese food. Like, it's just, I'm like, you have to, like, actually, I think it puts pressure on you to have sex, though, because then when you see each other, you're like, we gotta,
it's like
make the most of it.
Right.
It's like
But,
the wedding day. No one actually wants to have sex the wedding day, but you feel pressure too.
Right.
I have to say, though, this is the first time I have ever been in a relationship where sexual pressure did not exist. Like, it's not like I wake up and he's like poking me in the back with his dick. Like, you know, the whole, I'm going to poke you.
Maura, that's
like,
harassment.
It is.
yeah,
really
well,
Lauren
I
and
know.
Maura have experienced a lot of it.
Makes me sad.
Yes. But no, it's real. It's like you feel like if you don't have sex enough, like they're not going to like you anymore or whatever it is. But like when you're in a stable, real relationship, you're like comfortable enough to have, you know, the natural highs and lows. Like sometimes I'm horny, really horny. Sometimes I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So I don't know. I just think it becomes a level of comfort. But I do think that we always, as women, face sexual pressure, and it sucks.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the worst. Like we're never
So
as
true.
horny as men ever at the base. So it's like, I don't know. That sucks,
No,
right?
I feel that. Yeah,
No,
and that's a different podcast, but yeah. Maura, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys, for having me. What an honor.
It's been a pleasure. You're really hilarious.
Wonderful, smart women.
Thanks,
Well,
women.
you're very articulate and well-spoken and lovely and hilarious.
And you didn't sound like Lena Dunham at all.
Are you? Okay, well, I don't know.
Okay. Bye. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Love
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
All right, so that was funny.
That was more
I
a
miss
very
Maura.
in-depth story, but she's also very well-spoken, and I
do miss
understand
Maura,
everything.
too.
She's the best.
All right, Kayak, I think you guys all probably are familiar with. It is the best site for flights because it compares everything right there. You know, you put in your time and your date, and then it gives you all the airlines and their prices. You know, it's all about comparisons. Well, how about a comparison site for car insurance? Well, there's now one. It's called Zebra. It's been reported that Americans are overpaying on car insurance by over $21 billion.
Jeez.
But searching for a better deal could take hours and typically results in a whole ton of unwanted spam calls. Until now, thanks to Zebra.com. Zebra.com is the nation's leading car insurance comparison site because it's the only place you can compare hundreds of policies from all the top carriers and choose the best one for you.
Plus, they will never sell your information to spammers, so you won't get calls at unwanted hours and unwanted emails. And also, like we said, the Zebra is Kayak for auto insurance. I would definitely be using this when I finally buy my first car.
Yeah, you just answer a few questions on a simple fast form, and they find you the best rates and coverage in your state.
It's quick, it's easy, and honestly, it's just an honest way to compare car insurance quotes from all the top providers all at once. So guys, go today and start saving at thezebra.com/getit, G-E-T-I-T. That's thezebra.com/getit, spelled THEZEBRA.com/getit.
All right.
Okay, let's call... You know what? Who is on the East Coast? Okay, Adrian. Adrian, she has a lot of things to say. She has a lot of feelings. Her email was long and...
What? Great. I'm excited to talk to her.
Yeah, okay, so let's give her a call. All right, everyone, we got Adrian. Adrian, could you tell us your pros and cons list?
You are in a long distance relationship, yes?
Yeah, so I've been with my boyfriend for like just over 4 years now, and we've been long distance for like the last year and a half of that. So
Where do you live and where does he live?
So I live outside of Boston, and he lives outside of Columbus, Ohio. So
Okay.
like it's like a 14-hour drive roughly. So it's not like
I'm so geographically
It's a flight.
challenged in my head. I'm like, how far are those? I was like drawing it.
Stop.
So, were you were together very happily for like the 2.5 years beforehand?
Yeah, so we went to the same college. Like that's where we met.
Uh-huh.
So like we were like together in the same place all during college, and then he got a job. So I stayed at our college for another year after we were the same year, but I stayed after for another year after we graduated to do a year of graduate school. So I got my master's degree, and Arthur got a job in Ohio. Like he's a mechanical engineer. Like he works for Honda, so he got a job out there.
Cool.
Okay.
And
So how are you making it work?
so we text every day, and we try to talk on the phone like pretty regularly, like not every day, but like at least like 4 or so times a week, I'd
Okay.
say. And we like FaceTime a lot. But like the biggest thing for us, at least for me personally, is like I like to know, as long as I know like when we're next seeing each other, like I feel good.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like if you have a ticket confirmation, then you feel
Yes.
relaxed.
Right. I
Yeah,
feel like I'd be the
exactly.
same exact way.
I would be the same way,
Because if
too.
you don't know when you're going to see them, you're like, is this
Yeah, like, are
happening?
you ghosting me? Are you gonna ghost me? Because I got your confirmation number, bitch. That's what I would feel like.
That's just because you had a traumatic experience.
Shut
So-
up, Ashley.
Okay, Adrian, how long do you usually go without seeing each other in person?
So it usually ends up being like a month and a half or so, like that we go. Normally not too much longer than that. I know. It's crazy. It sounds crazy. It's not as bad as it sounds, I promise.
Okay, so Ashley has a question.
Do you have an ultimatum plan? Not like an ultimatum.
like
an ultimatum.
is one of you gonna move to the
Do you have an
Maybe.
ultimate plan to be together? Is what I mean.
Like to move
yeah.
together.
Kind of like not super definitive, because also like we're both he just turned 24 and I'm about to turn 24, but we're both like super young, and so neither of us are really like ready to like be like, oh, like we are ready to like get married and have children. Like that's just not something that either of us are ready for. But I think the plan kind of generally is like within maybe like 3 years or so, I would probably move out to Ohio, just because for me it's a lot easier to find a job. Like I'm a teacher, so it's a lot easier for me to find a job than it would be for him to find. Like he designs cars. That's not a job you can have everywhere in the United
Do you
States.
ever
pretty
get
cool job.
paranoid?
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
him being away and like sexual needs being met. I don't want to put ideas in anyone's head, but I would be nervous. You know?
Not really, because honestly, that's something like I know I like sent you guys that like super long email, but that's something like I think that Arthur and that's my boyfriend Arthur, that's like something that we talk about a lot. Like we talk about like even though we're like long distance, we try to have an act. I don't want to like be
You
TMI,
FaceTime sex
but-
all the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, honestly, thank God for
That's
FaceTime.
awesome.
I have a question because I feel like I would feel this way. So again, like Lauren said, not putting ideas in anyone's head, but I'm curious to know, are you ever self-conscious about being in a long distance relationship? I feel like society puts like a lot of pressure on people and
Yeah, they pretend like it's not a real relationship.
right. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes people don't take our relationship as seriously as they would if we lived in the same place. Like, yeah, people will be like, wow, you've been together 4 years and you're doing the long distance. Like, people don't understand how that could work for us.
Yeah.
And then if I say, well, oh, we both really wanted to focus on our careers, which is true. Like, that's why we are long distance. Like, I got an awesome job. Like, I did apply for some jobs where he lived when I was looking for jobs, but I got an awesome job offer in my hometown, actually. So I was like, I can't turn that down when I don't like, I wanted to be able to focus on my career, and some people think that because like we made that decision, we both made those decisions, like that our relationship isn't as serious. So I don't know if it makes me feel insecure, but I definitely get weird vibes from people as to like, oh, like your relationship isn't as serious when it is like very serious.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know if it was your email who said, but like while you're living separately, you really develop your own identity, and you're not like, if you moved right to Ohio with him, then you would be like just his little, you know, you'd be
very dependent on him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd be very dependent on him.
Yeah, that's definitely like this is my first time living alone. Like I also love living alone. Like I think also if I had moved to Ohio, both of us would have felt that this is like, oh, this is, you know, end game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is, I think we both do feel like that about our relationship. So like I do like this in my head, like this might be my only opportunity in my entire life to live by myself.
Get it?
And so also,
yes.
yeah. And so also like I have never lived by myself. Like I lived with my parents, and then I lived with roommates all throughout college and grad school. And so it kind of forced me to like learn how to do things independently that I may not otherwise.
Like, I feel the same exact way because I live by myself. And I would almost argue that, don't you feel like you're getting to know someone through a phone or email or text or whatever without having the sex, like taking the physical out of it? Is there something to be said about maybe one could argue that maybe you're closer emotionally
I
because
think
of
so.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, it kind of forces you to be better at communication, because if you're not good at communicate, like if you're not good at communication, you can't have a long distance relationship. That's kind of what it comes down to. So it like really forces us to be open and honest. Like if I'm having a bad day, or I like am like we're a normal couple, like we'll get, like we don't really fight that much, but like we'll get frustrated with each other, like every couple does. And so if I feel frustrated with something, I need to tell him, because he can't pick up on like physical cues, because he's, you know,
I feel like if your
like
love language
5 states
is
away.
touch, you're gonna be a shit at long distance relationship.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you can
that's
get more
definitely-
insecure
Well, you could
without
touch
it.
yourself.
No, that's
I'm just
totally
saying.
different. That's not sexual.
Like
That's
I need his hand on my knee if he's talking
I know
to me.
what you mean.
You know.
Yeah.
May we request that you get a Quip toothbrush to elevate your tooth or teeth brushing experience, as Maura likes to say.
Guys, I can't even describe to you how my life has changed ever since Quip. I am one of those people that never really had a motorized toothbrush, and it just makes me feel so expensive and rich and great. And I honestly feel like it works way better, and it does, because it's just moving around. It's getting all that tar out of your teeth.
I don't feel clean unless I have an electric toothbrush.
That is the most accurate statement of the year. And I love like how simple the design is. I know that sounds so weird, but you know,
It's not bulky.
I'm very like particular about aesthetic, and I feel like there are a lot of ugly toothbrushes out there, and this is a very sleek toothbrush.
It really, really is. And they have sensitive sonic vibrations, which are good on even the most sensitive gums. People brush you hard, and some electric toothbrushes are too abrasive, but Quip, you don't have to deal with that shit.
Also, like I was mentioning, they have a multi-use cover that mounts to your mirror and unmounts to slide over your bristles for on-the-go brushing. I love it because it also comes with like a travel pack, which I love. And actually, Quip is one of the first electric toothbrushes accepted by the American Dental Association and has thousands of verified 5-star reviews.
Can I just say this cover is a lifesaver, because normally when I'm packing, I wrap a piece of paper towel around my toothbrush. And it's
So ratchet.
So it's very ratchet.
Yeah.
So this is just awesome and clean.
Yes, I agree, Ashley.
Well, I love Quip because it gives me the fresh breath that I need to kiss and talk to Ashley, so she doesn't go, ew, your breath stinks. Yeah. That's why I love Quip. And why
That's so nice of her. My dad says something died in your mouth.
Ew.
I'm like, geez.
That's why I love Quip, and why they're backed over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/getit right now, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/getit.
Quip.
Can I just have you list off your pros and list off your cons? Kind of like rapid fire, like what you hate and what you love about it.
So my pros are, like, as I mentioned, getting to live alone. I really, really like that. I think also it makes me really appreciate the time, like both of us, it makes us really, really appreciate the time more. Like if we're only getting 4 nights together in 2 months, we want to spend all of like every minute that we're together really making that time count. And like, I think that, I mean, since I'm a teacher, I get summers off, right? So this summer I lived with him for 2 months. And I think sometimes we would just be like, oh, like this is kind of like a day-to-day routine, and we wouldn't be like focused on each other. Whereas when we're long distance, we really focus on each other. So that's like a big pro. As I said, like learning to be independent for me, like I'm almost 24, like I'm growing up. Like it's a time of me kind of learning to be an independent adult forces you to be better at communication. And I do think in some ways, I think the anticipation like makes the sex hotter.
Okay.
In some ways.
So much sexual tension.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, imagine like you are talking to the person that you want to be having sex with, and you can't be having sex with them for like 2 months, but you're talking about it. It's so great. It's so much great.
I would say long distance relationships are probably more romantic.
Yeah.
You can send little love notes.
If they're communicative.
If they're good for you.
Yeah, I do that. I'm all about like the snail mail and stuff. Like
That's
Arthur's
cute.
less
That's
like
so
that,
cute.
but he likes to like receive it, and he'll be like,
That's
"Oh,
so
look, I got
cute.
your package."
That's
cute.
I
Adorable.
love this. Maybe I should get in a long
Yes.
distance.
Make your like geographic
Gonna open
wider
up
on
my
Tinder.
distance. Yeah, my mile range on Raya.
Yeah,
I'm doomed.
And then-
Anyways,
Yeah,
thanks for
oh,
calling
wait,
in.
she only did the pros.
Wait, and then okay, yeah, my cons were like where like the biggest thing is like missing him. Like it gets lonely sometimes. I'm just like sometimes like I'll have a bad day and I'll be like, oh, like I wish Arthur was here, but
I love that his
I don't
name is
get to
Arthur.
see him.
I
Could he
could
have a
squeeze him
cuter-
to death. He's
Could
the
he have a
cutest
cuter
name.
name?
Arthur and Adrian. I can't wait for your like wedding sonogram. Is that the word?
Oh my God.
What's the word?
Monogram.
Thank you. What's a sonogram?
Sonogram is
Oh,
when you
yeah.
see a baby.
Sorry, my best friend's pregnant.
oh my God,
That's what I was
we both have like the most horrifically, not only do we both have these like really kind of long and slightly old fashioned names, we both have like our full names. Like my full name is Adrian Marie Chudnowski and his full name is Arthur Benjamin Hatterley Smith. Like we're both nightmares.
No way. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
That's adorable.
No, it's literally exactly like that. But yeah, and then like people have like will say like stupid things about it. Like I'll tell people like I mean like conversationally, like when it comes up, people will be like, oh, like that must be really hard that you're in a long distance relationship. Like you must miss him. I'll be like, yeah, like random coworker. I do want to talk about how much I miss my boyfriend in the middle of this like faculty meeting. Like I appreciate that you care about this, but it's not like I don't want to talk about like this. Like it does.
It is emotional.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, I
People
would
find it
probably
very
start
interesting,
crying.
though. I would probably ask the same question.
Adrian, can I just say something before we let you go? The
Yeah,
way
for
you
sure.
talk about Arthur, it just sounds like you're smiling the whole time. And it's just brought me so much joy.
So cute.
I've never met you, but you seem very cute.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
And
Okay.
And
I really enjoyed hearing about you and Arthur.
for sure.
Give
Yeah,
Arthur our
anytime.
best. We love Arthur. It's so cute.
I wish I could see a picture. Send Lauren a picture of him.
Oh my gosh, I will. I'll
Okay.
send a follow-up email with a picture of us.
Yeah.
I'll send you.
All
right.
All right.
Wait,
Thanks,
I
Adrian.
can send you guys one of our extra Christmas cards. I think I have some.
Okay.
Yes.
Aww.
All right. Thank you guys
you.
so much.
Of
right,
course.
sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
What an
What a cute
what an
advance.
angel, that girl. I want to. Oh, she just seemed like she was smiling ear to ear, right? Like the whole time.
Yeah.
She's
Like so
adorable.
young and giddy,
I
and
know.
like in this like Dear John scenario.
She's a teacher. I'd want my kid to have her as a teacher.
I know.
Yeah, she seems like a great teacher.
Okay, so we have three really interesting callers. Let's call Liz because she has a little 90-day fiance sort of situation.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
She went on vacation to Cuba,
Oh no.
met a man, and she's in love with him. So let's give Liz a
Cuba.
call.
Okay. Is she on the East Coast? I feel bad.
She's on the West Coast.
Oh, good. Are we
Yeah.
done with the East
the
Coasters?
best coast.
I don't know where the others live, but I've been in communication with Liz, and
Okay.
she seems eager to talk.
Let's talk to Liz.
All right, everyone, we have Liz, and she has a very interesting tale to tell. So tell us about your fiance.
Ooh.
He is my fiance. That's right.
Cool.
Okay, so we met when I was on vacation in Cuba.
So romantic.
It was kind of very crazy. But I ended up going back a few more times after I met him. Actually, the first time I went back was just a month after I met him. And ever since then, I've gone back kind of every 4 to 6 weeks or so. So yeah, it's been a long distance relationship for about a year, almost a year.
Was it love at first sight?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we didn't really know. I didn't actually think I'd see him again after I saw him the first time. Because, you know, it's Cuba and it's far. I live in California and it's hard to communicate. So yeah, I mean, I talked to him for a couple hours that night and that was it. And I thought I would never see him again. And in fact, I mean, I kissed him, but I said to my friends the next day, I'm like, you know, that's okay. He was a sloppy kisser. And he was shorter. He's shorter than me, but there was still like just something that made me reach out to him again.
It's because he's a musician. Musicians will do that to you, right?
Well, apparently they never had before, but yeah, he was a musician, and that was crazy too. It was all pretty crazy for me, but we get along so well. And you know, you asked about long distance, and we just started emailing because they don't have like mobile data. Their Wi-Fi is like only in public parks and things like that.
Yeah,
so it's
they
really
don't have
hard.
Wi-Fi in Cuba, barely.
Yeah, it's in the public parks. You have to literally go to the park. So yeah,
everyone's just like at the park, like a beautiful park, just on their phones.
Yeah.
Just that visual just made me laugh. Like I want to paint a picture of that.
It totally is like that. You know, if it's a Wi-Fi park because everybody's sitting there on their phones.
Wow.
And they get very crowded.
So ironic.
So it's very weird. But we would just email, and we did all these really long emails at first. And that was like, we never spoke in that first month after I met him. Before I went back and saw him again, we never spoke on the phone. We only emailed. And I couldn't believe that I was going back to a communist country all by myself to see a guy that I had only known for a few hours.
Right.
It was crazy.
It is crazy.
Totally crazy.
This is so romantic. I love it. It's romantic and terrifying.
Yeah. Well, and I figured it could go one of both ways, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
definitely.
really know how it was going to end.
It's like You on Netflix.
I figured it could be a good story either way. So I travel a lot. I've been to many, many foreign countries. It wasn't that big of a deal in my head. But
So why didn't he come to you?
because he can't.
Oh, they can't.
This is Cuba. No,
so we
they
can go to them,
cannot
but they
leave.
can't come to us. So
Exactly.
then what about when you get married? What's going to go on then?
So it's still going to take like a year. That's why we're getting married as quickly as we are. It's kind of crazy to be getting married when I've only known him a year and I'm barely just divorced. But it will take, after we get married, it will take another year to get the visa application all done.
How does that make you feel?
Scared, anxious, waiting for my life to start. I just feel like I'm in this like limbo, and I feel like I've been like this for, the last 6 months.
If you didn't know that he would eventually come live with you, would you still continue communicating with him and seeing him and stuff?
Yes, I think that's the thing. I mean, I've been thinking about this since I knew we were talking about long distance relationships and how you make them work. I think that you make them work when both of you want them to work.
Right.
And they're not going to work if you don't want them to work. Because we're not doing anything different. It's like I said in the email, it's harder for us than it is for
Definitely.
most people.
Right.
They can FaceTime whenever they want.
Yeah, and we can't. I mean, Wi-Fi park.
Yeah.
I feel like when you said you're waiting for your life to start, I was like, that's really interesting. Like, you meet this person, right, that you love and you want to spend the rest of your life with, essentially, but they just don't live where you are. So it shouldn't be a reason to not try and make it work.
Yeah.
I guess I'm more saying this out loud to convince myself, because I'm really glad we did this podcast, because I feel like I'm way more open to being in a long distance relationship, knowing that there'd be an end. Because I'm sure, I mean, those emails, when you get an email, like, can you describe the feeling that you would feel? Because you never got to talk to him.
Oh, I know, especially at first. I mean, now we do talk more. We've kind of figured out ways. But at first, I mean, it was so, like, you just wait for him. You keep refreshing. I know he said he kept refreshing his email all the time to see if he got something from me. He'd always be like, oh, I look, you know, because it's a 3-hour time change, like East Coast. And, you know, he would look forward in the morning to waking up and seeing my goodnight email.
So you've got mail.
Yeah, Tom
exactly.
Hanks and Meg Ryan.
So why couldn't you talk on the phone? You guys can't talk. The phone service doesn't work with Cuba?
It does. It's like $2.50 a minute or something. It's
okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so
ridiculous. So would he have to pay $2.50 or would you pay $2.50?
To whoever called.
This is a podcast on collect calls now. Wow.
It depends on who calls whom, but we can, like, we figured out you can do Wi-Fi with, like, WhatsApp. Audio.
WhatsApp, FaceTime.
Okay, I got a question. So would you ever move to him?
If need be. About that.
If need be.
If need be, like if he got rejected for coming here, which I can't imagine, but I've met people on planes on my flights over there, like from Miami, who, like, I met this man and his wife is in Cuba and he's in Miami and he works in Miami Monday through Friday and goes to Cuba every weekend.
Aww.
So, and I have a job where I can work remotely. So when I have gone to visit him, it's hard. I have to go sit in the hotel lobby, but I can work if I can be on Wi-Fi. So I would do it maybe like sporadically, temporarily. I wouldn't do it forever because it's a hard life there.
Right.
How do your kids feel about him?
Oh, you have kids.
I have kids. I know. I said I'm older than your normal demographic.
No, our demographic is everyone.
I know. I love you guys. So I know I'm part of your demographic because I love you guys.
We love you.
My kids are a freshman and sophomore in college. And they're your demographic right there.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
I feel like it's everyone.
So I do too. I took them to Cuba in August, and he has a son who's 15.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and so we all kind of met, one big happy family. And they seem like he and my son have a lot of really shared common interests. And, you know, and I don't want to disparage, like, my ex and my kid's father, like, is a great guy too. But Noah did seem to really get along well with the kids, and they didn't have anything negative to say about him. And even, like, by the end of the week, my daughter, who's very quiet, like, was opening up a lot more.
Aww, that's nice.
So I think they like him.
Aw, I have one last question because you have been just so fabulous. I'm assuming English is a second language, yeah?
Yes.
So how is that? Like, was there a massive language barrier or not?
With him, there is not with him. His English, he taught himself English somehow because he's a singer, so he's taught himself English just through singing and things like that.
So cool.
But I don't speak good Spanish at all. And nobody I've met in Cuba speaks very good English. He is literally the only person I can communicate with when I'm there. Everybody else really just speaks Spanish, and they speak so quickly.
Yeah, it's really, I'm Dominican, so it's like all really fast. It's like, hola, ¿cómo tú estás? ¿Qué estás haciendo? It's like 2,000 words in 1 minute. It's crazy.
It's sexy, though, for him to speak another language.
Yeah. Serenade me, Romeo.
Try listening to him sing. Oh my gosh, it's
he
amazing.
sounds super sexy, and I have not even seen him, but I love the Latino man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us, Liz.
Thank you for
listening.
Thanks for
listening. Thank you guys. I'm glad I got to talk to you.
And have the best wedding day ever.
Yes. Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Oh gosh, I know how tacky.
No,
I'll be thinking of you on
wedding
that day.
Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah, she's cute.
God, these guys, I'm telling you.
They're selling you on long distance.
It's not even that I'd want one. I don't think anyone would wish that upon themselves. Maybe some people would, but just talking to these people, I'm like,
If you met a guy that lived on the East Coast, you wouldn't say no now.
It's funny because right before we started the podcast, 100% I'd say no.
Really?
Yeah, like even if I meet someone hot when I'm in New York or visiting, I'm always like, no, there's no point. I'd want someone near me. But now I'm like, maybe there is a point for a little bit.
Well, you're so busy that it might be kind of nice to not have to like have an obligation when you're after work or whatever.
I just like the old schoolness of it. Like the fact that you do communicate, you have to talk about like longer, more meaningful things. And when you see each other, it's more meaningful.
Hey, Lauren, I got a question for you. Did you do your producer work well and get a different side of the story? Anybody who says that long distance relationships suck?
I do.
All right,
I have one.
Let's call that person.
All righty.
That's how we'll wrap.
Okay.
We'll end on a bad note.
No, we had 3 good ones, and now we have one.
No, yeah, we'll have an opposing viewpoint.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so then we're going to call Alex. Okay. All right, everyone. We have Alex on the line, and please tell us a little bit about your long-distance relationship.
All right. So I'm Alex, and I live in Southern California, and I was in a long-distance relationship for 2 years, and it was while I was in college. So I met the guy I was in a relationship in college in Tennessee, where we both went to school. And I met him about 2 months before he graduated. So he was 2 years ahead of me in college.
Okay.
So we only knew each other like for 2 months before we actually got into this relationship and before he moved away.
Got it.
And he ended up moving to Southern California, where I am now, for medical school. Yeah, so he went to medical school. And I was
you
still
chased that man.
So
you chase him. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, when we started this long distance relationship, we hadn't had much time in person, like day to day. So we did a lot of this relationship by texting and FaceTiming. So we would FaceTime each other basically like every night and text each other like all day long during the day. And then on school breaks, either I would go to see him or he would come to see me in Tennessee. Or we would like spend like Thanksgiving or Christmas with my family or his family.
Okay,
so it was like a real relationship. Yeah. We were like in person. It was serious for sure. And basically what kept us going for those 2 years is that we like told each other, or we had like the idea that once I graduated from college, I would move to Southern California where he was in medical school, and we would either get engaged / get married within a few months of me moving out there. So this was like a serious relationship.
Okay.
And so I graduated, after 2 years of this long distance relationship, and I ended up moving out here where I am now to be with him. And once we started dating like in person, like day to day, which we hadn't done before, we had only, visited each other and seen each other for like, I don't know, a month at a time max. I started realizing like we need more time to date. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to get engaged to this guy. Like when I started seeing his personality and, just who he was day to day, I kind of was like, I don't know anymore. I'm not really liking some of this, like his personality traits. I don't know if we would fit that well together. And I didn't start realizing this till I was in person with him, because like when you're visiting someone, you are on your best behavior. You only like see like the best side of someone. You don't see them in every single like situation with their friends, with your friends, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
How long were your visits? Previous?
Okay, maybe 2 weeks at a time. But then the summer before I graduated, I like spent like at least 2 months with him.
Okay.
So it wasn't like super short, but still it wasn't like, months and months.
Yeah. You continue, and then I'll ask my question. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So we ended up actually dating in person once I moved out to Southern California, where he was, for another 2 years. So
holy moly, girl!
Yeah,
you were still with him
for 4 years. Yeah, for
even though you weren't liking him too much.
Yeah, because like I always kept thinking like, oh, maybe things will change. Maybe
he's like, oh, maybe he's going to be a doctor one day.
Yeah, but it's not so easy. I feel like a lot of people that move across the country for someone, it's like way hard. You have so much more at stake.
Absolutely.
When you
gotta try it out. You gotta
and like we were serious. I wasn't like
you have to be sure
to go across the country and then break up,
Yeah.
And I kept on thinking like, maybe things will change. Maybe, like I'll like him more, or things will be different. I kept telling myself that. And finally, after, that 2 years of in person, I was like, I can't ever imagine, marrying him or having children with him. I don't want to become like him. I wouldn't want my children to be like him.
Okay.
And so that's when I realized, like, no, I even though I'm out here with basically no family, I have some friends out here, but it was, it was hard to break up with him because he was like the one person that was, here with me in Southern California. Other than that, I just had some friends, but no family out here.
Right.
So, it was a little tough, but eventually we broke up, and I'm like,
you broke up with him?
Happy. It was more on my side breaking up with him. He did have some problems with me too, so it was a little mutual, but definitely I was the one pushing the breakup.
Okay. So what would you suggest to people who are in a long distance relationship now? I can foresee you saying something along the lines of you must live together for a certain period of time before continuing the relationship.
Well, it's a long distance relationship.
I mean, like, I feel like a chunk, like a summer. Like, I think what you're saying is, like, you, like, spend 3 months with them, and then you can go ahead and keep living your long distance relationship.
Right. I would totally agree with that statement. And not ignore, like, little red flags in your mind. Like, all along, I kind of knew this probably isn't quite right. Like, we sound perfect on paper, but together, it's like two puzzle pieces that look like they should be together, but don't fit.
Yeah.
And so like, if you have little like red flags, just don't ignore them,
I wonder, like, what is something that you saw where you're like, whoa, I don't like that. Like the way he treated service people or something.
He was always nice to service people. He was really nice to his family for the most part. It was just, I did not feel respected by him at all or cherished. He wasn't always the nicest to me.
Okay.
Like towards the end, like every time I would see him, like after he left, I would cry and like feel terrible about myself and like about the situation. And I was always so anxious, like, I know this isn't right, but I'm still in it,
Right. Do you feel like being long distance though is to blame for this, or do you think it's more just like you weren't the right people for each other, or you think it definitely was a part of the equation?
I think it was a combo. I think if we had started to like not doing long distance and we had been dating in person from the get-go, I would have seen these things and all these little red flags, and my feelings towards him would have added up a lot faster.
Yeah. It would have been like a year, not 4.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or 2 years, not 4.
So it was like a waste of time for you.
So it was basically like those 2 years just kind of dragged out the inevitable, and I just didn't see it right away because it was long distance for those 2 years. So now I'm dating this super, super amazing guy. And I met him about 5 months after me and my previous boyfriend had broken up. And this relationship, I just feel so happy every day and so in love. I can totally see like what a good relationship is like. And I can see that 4 years with the other guy was not a good relationship because this one is so good. I didn't even know like what I was missing out on or what a good relationship looked like.
What if it was meant to be that you were supposed to move to California and you had to be with the other guy in order to find the new guy?
I'm like, even though the 4-year relationship was like not the greatest, looking back on it, I'm so happy I went through that because it's what led me to my current boyfriend. And I have like such an appreciation for the relationship we're in because I went through the other one. So I can completely appreciate, who he is as a person and how I feel when I'm with him and how happy I am.
Oh, that's
Every
amazing.
relationship is a learning experience.
So it wasn't wasted time, like I said earlier. I'm sorry, it was not a waste of time.
No, it never is.
No, it is not.
Would you ever, if you weren't dating someone currently, would you ever do long distance ever again?
I don't think so. I don't think I would do it again after going through that other relationship.
But
what if
your new guy moved? And you had to be long distance for a while.
If it had to be like a few months, I would be okay with that.
Okay.
But because I've been in person with him for a year and a half, that's what would make me say, I would be okay doing long distance with him because I already know who he is as a person. Yeah, and I already know that I love him and want to be with him. So I would be okay with that. But I don't know if it was just some random person, if I would do long distance relationship again.
Okay, got it.
But yeah.
All right.
All right, well, thank you so much. This was such a good story. Really, really enhanced the podcast.
Calling. I'm so happy to be on the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
And she's just obsessed with you guys and so happy that I'm doing this right now.
That's awesome.
Tell her we say hello.
Yeah. She told me to tell you guys. She also was in a long distance relationship and she ended up marrying the guy she was in a long distance relationship.
Oh my goodness. So look at there.
So
that's amazing.
It's kind of two sides of the coin there.
Yeah. But Amazing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Of course.
Bye.
Guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Really, she's so cute. Everyone was so This was so great because we had Maura, and then we had, I think it was Adrian, who are currently in the relationships. And then we had one where it worked out because she's getting married to him next month. And then we had one where it didn't work out, but she's happy.
That's
so
great.
I don't know how I feel.
So
Would you
happy.
guys, after hearing all those stories, how do you guys feel? Did that like change anything for you on how you view long distance?
I agree with what Alex said about like you have to see him day to day because that's
For
like,
a while.
The little quirks are what get you.
Yeah.
What do you mean you have to see them day to day?
You have to like see how they wake up in the morning, see like how, like their routine. You got to get used to their routine.
Like you have to know them before you enter the long distance is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend time with them.
Yeah.
So
Or-
if you didn't get to spend time, so if you met a guy on a cruise, which has happened to you before, Lauren, you wouldn't give it a shot because you hadn't spent time with him?
No, obviously I did give it a shot.
But I'm saying now you wouldn't? Like looking back?
You got to see how good at communication they are. You
Yeah.
know? It's like a whole bunch of factors.
I would say that you'd have to dedicate like a month in the first 6 months of dating to literally just live together. Not live together, but you know what I mean? Like be with each other almost every day.
It's also like what Maura said. You just you gotta be consistent. You gotta show up when you're supposed to show up and call when you're supposed to call. And then I think you'll be great.
Yeah, I feel like if I was in a long distance relationship and they like forgot one time or didn't respond, I feel like my mind
you'd be
would
that
start.
good in one.
Well, I would if it was a great guy that's consistent.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't with a guy that is terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all depends on if you're
No
supposed
one
to be
would.
with the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if the person's ready to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It also does. What I mean is, it's dependent on how much communication you require to feel comfortable. You require a lot of conversation.
I
Checking
don't
in.
know. I don't know. Because I haven't been in one since I've been heartbroken. So who knows if I really need that anymore. I feel like I've done a lot of interesting.
Yeah, it definitely
that's
changes.
interesting.
I feel like if I met a guy, you know what I mean, that
That's
would like
interesting.
call me once, I feel like maybe I'd be fine with it actually. But yeah, back then, totally, I was not ready. And I feel like I'd be. And you know what's funny? I told you guys this, and we'll wrap really soon, but so I had Snapchat open because I only use it for filters, and I accidentally hit the screen while the camera was open, and this map popped up, and I sound like a fucking grandma saying this, like, and then there was the map, and I had and I swear to Jesus, I didn't know. I never use Snapchat. I'm so illiterate when it comes to Snapchat. And the only person I can track on there is Big. And all of a sudden,
funny.
Big just started coming to my
Would've
mind.
been
I'm
so
not going to
handy.
text him or anything, but I'm like, but even now, I'm like, this is crazy. I can see where he is all the time because he has his settings on.
Amazing and horrible at the same
It's
time.
horrible, but I also forgot to ask all these people on the phone. I wonder if they have find your friends with the guy, and they, damn it, I should have asked that because I wonder if that drives them crazy.
Probably,
or not.
probably don't because that would cause. Way
Do you
more
guys
problems.
do you guys share your location with your significant others?
Yeah.
I don't.
on the phone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that give you so much anxiety? I feel like it give me so much anxiety.
If Jack ever left his apartment, it would.
And we'll end on that.
That's
note.
funny.
Love you guys.
All right.
Love ya.
Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.